What in the world are all these different shot types? What are people talking about? If you're coming to this video right now, you're probably a little confused, or maybe you just want some more clarity. By the end of this video, you're gonna walk away being crystal clear on all the different shot types you could see in film and television. I'm even gonna give you some extra little gems on how films are shot versus maybe television shows, standing sets, etc. Right? So please do me a favor, watch all the way to the end. I want you to get as much information as possible. And let's get into it. Hit the like button, sub button, bell button. Okay, everybody, today I'm going to be teaching you about the different shot types and essentially, what makes a film or a television show just what it is. How are we capturing this story? And in order to do that, I know that you gotta understand the different shot types. So typically it's the director who's coming up with the shot list, whether it is on television or film, and that is really the goal of the director, is how are we capturing the story. And so they break down a specific scene and they figure out, how do I want to capture it? Where do I want these characters to be? Do I want them to walk in? Do we just land in the scene hot, etc.? And there's a traditional kind of method to shooting a scene, right? And you really go scene by scene, and each scene turns around and is put together, and that's what makes up the film. So let's get into the shot list. Let me tell you how it works. And then at the end, I'm going to give you some extra gems about how it works on film, television, one camera, two camera, etc. So stay tuned all the way through the end, because I'm put it together for you. Okay, to start, the traditional scene really starts with an establishing shot. An establishing shot is really exactly what it sounds like. It is to establish where we are in the scene, where we're at in this world or universe, and it's so the audience can follow what is taking place. And so there's a few different ways. Sometimes people use like an extremely wide establishing shot, right? So you just kind of see everything that's going on at that place. Sometimes these establishing shots are moving and they're sliding, but we're not getting into camera, kind of like camera movements. We're just going shots right now. If you want a video about camera movements, please comment camera movements in the comments below. So let's say we have a scene at a park. Our establishing shot would literally just be the park. What's going on in the park? Are our actors there yet? Are they going to be arriving there? But we just need to know where it's at. Sometimes you'll see in rather lower budget films or older films, even in big budget films, if we're going to be at a house, sometimes the establishing shot is just literally just the outside of the house. So you know that this scene is about to take place there. Boom. Once you establish where the scene is, now we can follow what's supposed to happen next. All right, so our next shots are like our wide shots. Now, mind you, scenes jump around. Sometimes they'll go from establishing to a medium to a wide. Like, it's all about how you edit it together, right? But just traditionally, what you need for coverage, what most people do, when you're writing down your shot list, you're gonna have anywhere between, some people might even have two, right? Because they're just that bold. But I would say on average, each scene has anywhere between 4 to 8 types of shots within a scene. So you got your wide. So you got straight wide is going to show like the feet, right? A medium wide probably won't show the feet. So let's just go back to this kind of like this, maybe this park concept, right? So in the park, right, the wide might show the feet, but we're not super far back like an establishing shot. We're more like closer up in this wide shot. And then you got your medium wide, which is closer than that. Maybe we got like a little bit below the knees, right? And mind you, I'm describing these shots in general. We're going to get into like what's a 2, what's a single, what's a 1, 2 and 1. We're going to get into those in a second, right? We're keeping it simple right now. Then from there, our next shot, we already talked about our wides, and we go to like a medium, right? So medium sounds like what it is. It's a medium. So it's like half, right? It might be like half of the body would be like your medium shot. And it's just kind of putting us, usually it's putting us there into the conversation, what's going on, like in that medium. So we kind of have a clear focus, right? After your medium, it's time to go to our close-ups. But before we get to a close-up, you got a medium close-up. So a medium close-up, you got medium close-up, close-up, then you have extreme close-up. Start with a medium close-up. So a medium close-up could be like from here, like the shoulders on up, right? This is considered kind of like a medium close-up. Close-up would be like your head, right? Only. That's what's in the close-up. And typically those are those big moments where the tears are going to drop and like Viola Davis is putting up the snot and all that. We love that. We love those shots. They make killer movies. And then you got your extreme close-up. Your extreme close-up, a good example of that would be at the end of Avatar, the first one, where the Avatar is opening his eyes. That was an extreme close-up because pretty much the only thing you could see was the character's eyes. And those are really specific shots. And sometimes people will start to that and then go to something wider or end on something like that, like in the case of that movie. But it's really just to get up close and personal with emotions, etc., right? So that's kind of like the gist of the shots. And then you would have what you call pickups. Usually pickup shots are showing specific actions, right, that have taken place in the scene. So it could be like somebody touching somebody's hand, or somebody grabbing a particular object in the scene, or somebody drinking from a bottle and they're just getting the side or something of the bottle and it's being drank. You see that all the time in like commercials. They do a lot of pickup shots for whatever it is they're advertising. And so oftentimes those pickup shots are in like close-ups. A pickup shot could be a little bit wider. Maybe you're showing a handshake. And you want to show the full handshake, dap it up, boom, boom. Maybe it's just the hands of the dap up. So people get creative with all these different types of shots. If you understand these types of shots, you can pretty much make a scene if you start from the wide on down and you, at some point in the scene, you get to every single part of the shot. Let's get to our next section. Then I'm going to give you 2 quick terms, right? 2 quick terms. And they're just going to make so much sense. But pause. Here's your challenge. So the challenge is, I want you to go back to watch your favorite movie or television show and watch it with the sound off. After you finish this video, watch that movie with the sound off. So when you watch it, right, you're going to pick up on all these different shots that I'm talking about. Typically when the sound is on, you're focused on the performance. And like, I don't want you to focus on the performance. I want you to watch how these things are captured, right? So watch this, your favorite movie, television show with the sound off. Let's get back into it. All right, so 2 terms, clean, dirty. Clean, dirty. When something is clean, right, that means we have clean. We have a clean look. There's nothing obstructing it, nothing blurring it whatsoever. Typically, it's one person or 2 people in the shot by themselves. Even though somebody else is in the scene, we are not seeing that person in the scene. That shot itself is that person by themselves, or maybe a 2 shot or even a 3 shot of them by themselves without people on the opposite sides. Because typically how film is shot, shoot one way, shoot another way. Shoot one way, get that character's performance or character's performance, and shoot the opposite way, right? So you can shoot it clean or you can shoot it dirty. All right, dirty. What dirty is, right, means exactly what it is. You're still focused on that character, but you're seeing the back of another character, right? Or you're seeing portions of the back of a character. It's not that particular person or persons in the shot by itself. I'm showing you guys some examples of what clean or dirty looks like. Clean or dirty. I'm going to give you about three examples right here. I want you guys to watch it and then determine if it's clean or dirty. Is it clean? Is it dirty? All right. You got it right if you guessed dirty, dirty, clean. Dirty, dirty, clean. That's what you did. You got it right. It's your little learning check. Make sure we're on the same accord. Clean, dirty. Clean, dirty. All right. Next terminology is pretty simple. I'm going to give you an example, right? You got 3, 2, 1. It can go up bigger, but typically when I'm on set as a director, 3, 2, 1. All right, so 3 shot sounds exactly what it is, 3 shot. I usually only do that if people are walking or something like that. Then I'll do a 3 shot because that looks kind of good. People are talking and you do it flat. It's like, it's just not really what it's cracked up to be. Then you got your 2 shot, 2 people in the shot, 2 shot. Now, mind you, that can get a little crazy because you can do dirty. That technically could be a 2 shot. It's just like, but 2 people. And then you got a single, 1 shot. 1 person, 1 shot. Right? That's it. Keep it simple. KSS. Keep it simple, stupid. 3, 2, 1. So when you see shots, that's what you're doing. Now, I'm going to give you a little bonus, right? I've done shots that are called a 2 and 1. So let's say you're shooting 3 people in a scene, right? You have 2 and you have 1. So imagine the camera is literally where the camera is at now, right? There's 2 people, you might see this. This would be technically a dirty 2 and 1. Because these 2 people you're seeing the back of, and this 1 person you're seeing the front of, right? Then when we flip, it looks like this. You see the front of the 2 people here, and you see the back of the 1 person here. That's a dirty 2 and 1. That's your little bonus right there. I told you I was going to have some bonus gems for how things are shot, right? So typically in film, depending on budget size, you're shooting with 1 camera, right? And you shoot, like I said, you film 1 side of the performance, and then you flip the camera and film another side of the performance, right? Well, bigger budgets, a lot of times they have multiple films or multiple cameras because they're trying to move faster. And it takes longer for setup, all types of stuff, right? So they might have 1 camera, another camera here for coverage, and 1 camera might be getting 1 shot, another camera might be getting another shot, so they can move faster. Somebody I work with actually worked on the set of Air, and he was one of the actors. He said Ben Affleck had 4 cameras set up. I'm like, yeah, that's crazy. And it was set up where it was on both sides. So he said they did probably about 2-3 takes of the scene. That's it. And they moved on and they were done to another setup because they had that many cameras and they had all the shots that they wanted. And then boom, that's it. You can do that when you have, 50 to 100 million on the film. So for sure you can do that. But yeah, and so that's a little bit different. Now we can talk about like television shows. So some television shows a lot of television shows these days are shot like film. If you look at your dramas, they're shooting with 1 camera and they're just breaking it up into episodes. Especially like shows that are on like HBO or like Apple TV. Those are shot more traditionally like mini films. But if you go back to your traditional television shows, you have your standing sets, right? Tyler Perry shoots a lot of his stuff his way. This is how he's able to do it so quick. It's what's called a multicam, right? Sounds exactly what it sounds like. Multiple cameras. Except it's all on a stage and they're only shooting 1 way. If you've ever watched these shows, even your old school shows like Martin, Fresh Prince, right? They're on a stage. You never see the opposite side of them. You're only seeing 1 side of the performance. So a lot of time the actor has to have their body turned towards the camera so we can kind of pick up more of their emotions, right? And they have like, I'm going to say 6 to 8 cameras all kind of on a line and pointed in different angles to get all these different shots that they need for the show. But they're still getting the same type of shots that they want, which is like establishing close up, medium wide, whatever, right? They're still doing the same thing. It's just the way that they capture it is either more efficient, etc. I call this is my personal term for it, like play style. Because when you're watching a play, you never see behind the person, right? You're only looking forward. For me, I feel like, well, it works in like sitcoms, and like I said, those like Martin's, Fresh Prince, and nowadays there's still a few more shows that are being shot like that. Like the Miss Pat show is shot like that. Watch the Upshaws on Netflix. It's shot like that, and it still works for those type of comedic type of beat type of shows, right? Very much slapstick comedy still. That's a vibe. But for like an actual drama show, I just don't feel like it works. I like shooting it more like films. That's a preference. I'm curious to know what you guys think in the comments below. But I hope this video really helped you, whether you're an actor or you're behind the camera, to understand why it's shot a certain way and how it helps us capture stories. So if you need any other questions, tips, or tricks, please let me know in the comments below. Hit the like button, sub button, bell button. There you gotta go.